Hey people, we're here again with a little bit more from the right blend. Um, we're going to probably talk a little bit more about the kids side of things, but starting
Blended
with
family.
the kids side of being in a blended family, minus the kids here to talk about it. Um, but you want to talk about it from the side of education. I guess we'll ebb and flow a little bit. So let's talk about what are your standpoints on education? Because I know my beliefs of
Okay, you can start with
education.
yours. You can start with yours.
And again, for those of you that might be just joining us for the first time, you know, I'm Mr. Right for Life on most social media platforms, or AKA Paul Wright.
I'm Denise Wright, Mrs. Wright underscore for life, and Denise Edwards Wright on Facebook.
And for those that don't know, we're both together in a blended family. I've got two children. She's got two children, both from previous marriages. So again, having been divorced, now being married and bringing children into that kind of a situation. So we call ourselves the right blend. But to jump into it, for those of you that do know, we'll kind of get past that quick intro. Um, Having children and how I feel about education. I look at it as the way I was raised. For those that might have caught our last video about the lens that you look at life through, um, education was big to us. You know, being Jamaican, my parents knew that education was a vehicle to get to a different level of success in life, especially in the early days. That's what you had to do. So that piece of paper, that degree, can can um, can transcend you from one area to another. So the way I look at things is, even though I'm not using my degree now, we're serial entrepreneurs, several $1 million businesses and things of that nature. So, uh, but again, I'm per se not using my degree. I'm not practicing medicine. I'm not um, doing any of that kind of stuff. Ooh, I know. I keep seeing. We're on a resort, so people will be walking across, but we're out on the lawn, kind of looking at the ocean while we talk and reflect and shoot these videos for you guys in San Juan, Puerto Rico. But nonetheless, the way I see it is, I hold my kids to the standard of the way I was raised. You know, it's got to be A's. You know, my parents did this thing where they paid me for A's, so I kept getting them. I wanted some money, so I felt disappointed in myself if I didn't get straight A's. But it was mainly A and B on a roll, if not straight A's. Don't let my kids know about that. It's straight A's for them. Because if I was able to do it, they're able to do it.
And
So
that
my daughter, to this point, she is now a freshman in high school, Gabrielle, and she's never had a B in her life. Knock on all the wood I could find. But
but
again, when you set a child in the way that they should go, they kind of live up to it. My son Kyle, bless his heart, super smart, but he's had some B's, mainly A's, but a few B's through the years, which is sad because I hold a gift over them. They wanted a go kart, and I was like, well, if you guys both get straight A's for the school year, you'll get a go kart. And Kyle is the one that's always messed that up for Gabby. So they still have no go kart to this day. Because again, it's hard to get straight A's for the entire year. It is, I know. But yeah, that's the way I see it. So again, knowing me, and I'm gonna raise your children as if they're mine. I'm gonna now hold them to that standard
I,
of educational excellence. You know, we've got nothing but time. We've got resources at home. They've got laptops, computers, Khan Academy, what us for help, whatever they need, but they need to be, trying to get
but
straight
the
A's.
whole thing about it is um, I know he believes in straight A's. He's laid back though, so for me, yes,
Guess
straight
what?
A's, yes, but to the
Yes.
point where the kids don't have to feel. I don't want it to be like, okay, they feel like if they don't get straight A's, oh my God, I'm gonna get a whooping, or I'm gonna, I'm so disappointed. Oh, my dad or my mom is gonna be so disappointed in me. In these days, I feel like kids at school is so pressured to the point where I don't want my child to feel like if I don't get straight A's, oh my God, I'm a runaway. That's how I think. I feel like that. And to the point, like the other day, since we've been together, um, okay, my son, he's always been an AB honor roll, not straight A's. But since we blend our family and he knows what Paul's belief is, my husband, he was like, he worked hard and he got all straight A's. Anywho, my daughter, on the other hand, she has special needs. So, again,
She's okay. She is
Straight
exempt
A.
to those rules.
straight A's is
And
not
we've got to meet people where they are. We understand that. I'm not, I'm not a
straight A's
tyrant.
are-
I know what's going on.
So,
But for those that can, they need to do. You know what I mean? So
But-
yeah, Alex has risen up to the occasion. Her son's name is Alex. Our son's name is Alex, and he's risen to the occasion and gotten straight A's and gotten the awards at school and loved that feeling of it and everything like that. And that's what I want for them. So another thing about me is I love music, sports, those kind of things. They mold who you are and they shape who you are for life. Becoming a team member, learning how to play an instrument, do those kind of things, those kind of activities, it does something to your brain. It helps, creates more wrinkles in your brain and structure you for leading people in life or being able to conquer and master a new activity. So again, the kids, we put them in soccer at a young age. They've been playing soccer for years. My
Your
son wants to go.
children.
My kids, Kyle and Gabby, and they want to go pro with it. So again, that's great, but that's a vehicle that can help them get a scholarship to college, which is also a must. The kids got to attend college at some point, but that vehicle can help them get a scholarship. But if I'm going to pay $1,500 to $2,000 a year or whatever per person, you've got to uphold your end of the bargain. What is that? Be a student first, get your straight A's, because again, sports should not hinder your education. Get your straight A's, and you can play all the sports you want, you can do all these different things you want, and enjoy it. But I'm not going to give you the $2,000 privilege, and you're not holding up your end of the bargain, and it slips to B's and C's or anything like that. It's just not going to happen. If you need more help focusing on school, we're going to eliminate the distractions, and you're just going to be a student. So that's the way I see it. It's a privilege to be able to do that. It's a privilege to say, hey, Dad, can I get this game? Can I get this? You want a bike? Get a bike. You want a game? You want to take this? For us to go and take trips and do that, show me. You want the reward? Well, here's the responsibility aspect of it. How do you earn it? And earn it through education right now. You disagree with that?
I do not. Sometimes I could feel like it's a little. I don't want
Oh, the pressure.
kids
You
to
said the
feel
pressure.
like it's.
Let me address the pressure part that you were talking about.
The kids have said it before, though.
Yeah,
they
said
said
it.
it. They said it.
Listen, we're here enjoying this beautiful scenery around that you see. Do you think I had any pressure to get us here? Did I have to work hard and learn and instill certain things in myself and certain disciplines on a daily basis to be able to afford to travel first class and take my wife to, 5-star resorts and stuff? Yes. So in life, there will be that pressure. They need to have it. So at the end of the day, there's a thing that I hear the radio show, the Burt Show in Atlanta, if you guys listen. Burt on there says there's something called the wussification of America. And it might be happening in other countries as well. But now so many people, schools don't want to have award ceremonies because now the kids that didn't get straight A's might feel bad and feel hurt and feel depressed. Well, step your game up. Or they don't want to have award ceremonies and trophies for the team that played the hardest and won all the games and now won the championship. They don't want to give them trophies and stuff because what about the other kids that didn't win the tournament?
This society, honey,
And that's the
so
problem.
they-
At the end of the day, what makes societies great is the competition. If there's no competition, because if we're doing that and putting on, putting, rubber foam on the streets, great. But there is no rubber foam on the streets. So if you're out here riding your bike and you fall, you can hurt yourself. If you're driving your car and you make a mistake, you can hurt yourself. In life, if you're not being at the top of your game, whether it be in your job or owning your own business, your competitors will eat you up. Your coworker will get that promotion over you and you're out the door. So I feel like they're setting these children up so softly that they're at such a disadvantage going into life because they've never had any pressures or any conflict. And the second they do, they want to hurt themselves or they get depressed or they get, reclusive and that kind of stuff. And I don't believe in that. I believe in letting my kids know at the end of the day, Yes, getting straight A's is hard. Otherwise, everybody would do it. But so is running a Fortune 500 company, a multi-million dollar company. It's hard. Otherwise, everybody would do it. Working your way up to the top of a Google or a Microsoft or anything like that is hard. Otherwise, everybody would be up there. So I agree and I believe in setting those standards that that sets them up for success later on in life. I'm a member of a fraternity. I'm a Phi Beta Sigma member. I'm a Mason. I've gone through those things, and those aren't easy to get into and get through. People have started those things, endeavors, those fraternal organizations, and dropped out or stopped. The ones that made it through fruition, you see a lot of those members in society are successful. Why? Because it took a certain person, certain type of character in you to have that discipline to push yourself to excel and finish the process. Otherwise, why? There's Navy SEALs, there's U.S. Marines, there's Army Rangers, the elite few of these different branches of the military and stuff, but only the strongest and the few survive and make it. So I want my kids to be able to do that, and we got to set them up for success. So that's how I feel about education. I get passionate about it. So when she doesn't want us to have pressure on them, or they say there's pressure on them, I'm like, great. I need to not. I'm not that I want to apply too much, but at the same token, the world is not going to ease up on them. Otherwise, they'll be homeless on the streets. Everything is getting more and more automated. They're going to have to compete on a level that was higher than us competing back in the day. Right now, I can start a business and compete against anybody right here on this resort on my cell phone. So what's going to stop? What's going to cause them to level up and be successful later on in life?
So are you saying that education is not as important as owning a business?
Oh, I did not. You don't have to have education to do it, but again, you got to understand the game, the rules of the game in society. That piece of paper in society holds a lot more weight than most people give credit for. Do you need to have it? No. I know a guy right now, Trey, CEO of Spurgo and those kind of things. He's 14 years old, running a multi-million-dollar clothing brand. He's not even finished with school yet. He's 14. So he's already a business owner. He's already, got a multi-million-dollar business that he's doing, over 7 figures. So did he need a piece of paper to do it? No. But later on in life, God forbid, businesses fail. If he has to pivot, if that business has to close for whatever reason, what will he fall back on after that? Does he have that degree that gets him in the door or something like that? If he ever had to go that direction. Otherwise, once you've been a business owner and you're a serial entrepreneur, you understand that there's opportunities all around you. So you should be able to pivot quickly. But the door, the lock, the key that unlocks that door in most of society is that piece of paper. So I think that the kids, even while they're attaining that piece of paper, run their own businesses and stuff like that. But you still need to finish and get that piece of paper, whether it be online. There's sports athletes that go to the NBA or go to NFL or whatever. But in the meantime, hopefully their parent instilled in them that they're going to come back and take night classes or something like that, just to say that they got that degree from mom or dad or whatever, or to ever fall back on. Just a piece of paper, but it can be useful if you get the right degree. Don't go get a degree that you probably can't do nothing with. Greek architecture and you live in South Florida. What are you going to do with it? So if it's business, if it's accounting or something like that, especially if you want to be wealthy, understand how money works. Be around that. But IT is definitely going to be the wave of the future, learning IT and AI, artificial intelligence and stuff. So I would steer my kids in that direction. Yeah, healthcare is cool, but healthcare is time consuming, and a lot of healthcare is trading hours for dollars. So the wave of the future is to be able to be here and enjoy what you're doing and have a team back running whatever you're doing. But if you're, no knock on certain people, but if you're live a certain lifestyle or have a certain, position or job or company, you've got to be there making sure the food is prepared to the standard of your customers. I remember my parents, we had a restaurant and lounge in Huntsville, Alabama called Casa Montego. And in the beginning, everyone fell in love with my mom's cooking. But the second my mom was out of town or not there, and they came through that door and said, "Hey, is mommy here?" And they were like, No, she's in Jamaica for 2 weeks. they went right back out the door because they know no one in there is going to cook the way that my mom cooked. And that's a problem unless you learn recipes and, a pinch of this and a tablespoon of that or whatever. So they learned, and my mom had to educate my dad on how to cook kind of like her. So, later on, and, they were able to come back and understand that my dad got it while my mom's gone. But in the beginning, no way, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was not McDonald's, so there was no way to automate the process to make sure it would taste the same. And it's the same thing. So I again, encourage my kids to make sure they excel in school, but also to pick industries. Since I have the knowledge and the wisdom of practicality now, tell them, hey, this is what I see. So I would say, unless you want to be in the office running this or at the computer doing this, you might want to, take this degree later on in life.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? Oh my God, I'm overshadowing Denise. I'm talking too much. I'm sorry.
He do that a lot.
But
I'm okay with it.
what are you?
For
Yeah,
the
she's
most
all.
part.
What
For
you
the
guys
most
don't
part.
see behind the scenes, she's like, no, you go ahead and leave. You do the talking. So anyway, but what are your thoughts on education and in a blended situation or just in a situation period? What are your thoughts on pressuring your kids to make sure they're on that honor roll or they're getting
Don't use
awards?
that word pressure, but
It's pressure. Encouraging your kids.
encouraging your kids, because you don't want them to feel like they're pressured, because when people are pressured,
We just
it's
talked
easy.
about diversification.
Okay, all
Pressure
right,
is
okay,
everywhere.
Okay, pressure. We pressure our kids.
Now you're gonna get defects called on us, the children's services or
pressured
something.
Our kids to get
Anyway,
straight A's, okay?
We
people?
do. Listen, I won't sugarcoat it. My kids know. You want to play soccer, you want to do anything, you want to get. Listen, but there's a thing that comes with it.
We're gonna have.
Our children can get
We-
anything they want as
we-
long as they do that. You get straight A's, you get anything you want, and I want them to realize and feel that reward. If I push myself to this, it equals this. Anything I want. My daughter can say, "Dad, I want a brand new pair of Jordans, and I
the
want
thing
some
about it, the kids
Huaraches."
don't even ask for
They could be
much,
$100, $200,
anyway.
$300 shoes. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's yours because you did the hard work that it took to get the straight A's for the year. Next school year closed out. Next school year coming in, you get whatever brand new shoes, whatever clothes you want to feel fly and feel fresh, so that you can focus on your education and sports. That's it. That's all I offer them. If they get a full scholarship through sports and academics, then I will spoil them
That's
with
not
college
all
with a
you
good
offer
school.
them.
And
You offer them anything.
I know, but I'm just saying, if they get their goal is to get a full ride through academics and athletics, then they get a car. After their second year, they can get an apartment or whatever, all paid for by us or their businesses. But I want them to realize that society and the world is a risk, hard work, dedication, and reward opportunity. So at the end of the day, you put in the work, you'll get the results. So that's all I'm saying. So what are your thoughts on education? What are your thoughts on what kind of grades do your kids have to get that is acceptable and allowable to come into the house?
To come in the house,
Come into the house.
you gonna put them out if they don't.
They know it. Yeah, comment below, like and subscribe, and anything else?
Yes, pressure your kids for straight A's.
Pressure them.
Let's go.
Right blend out.